I mean, how about, I mean, it's so embarrassing, ladies and gentlemen. I mean, here we are on more than 75 AM and FM stations, global shortwave, #1 internet show in the world, #1 podcast, one of the top channels on YouTube, hundreds of millions of views on YouTube alone. Of the top 5 or 6 downloaded films in history, 3 or 4 of them are mine. And my ego gets smaller. Oh, I'm aggressive, I'm confident, I'm assertive, but I realize the power I have. I realize the responsibility I have. And then some guy's mad, I guess, that he is 5 feet tall or whatever, and maybe people were mean to him in high school. I don't know. And I'm not a big guy. You know, I'm 5'10", 240 pounds. I mean, I guess I'm big muscle-wise. But the point is, what was so intimidating when a nice, good old boy walks up and, how you doing, troopers? What's going on here? You know, blocking the road. They're all over the street. They're out here with a tent set up. And that guy was just looking at me with hate. And that's what tyranny is. It's that entitlement. And I've been having demonstrations and rallies at the state capitol. I've been down there for more than 17 years, on air for 15. And those state police were so nice 10 years ago. They were listeners. They were all great. We've had rallies down there the last 3 or 4 years, and I'll walk over while somebody's speaking, hey, how you doing, trooper? And they'll just leave me alone. I'm not talking to you. In fact, let me see your ID. We've got video of that with Aaron Dykes. Give me your ID. Because they are promoting the ones that hate the citizens. They are promoting the ones that are cowardly and weak and have no honor. They are promoting people who, I'm a sergeant. I'm a sergeant. And you are a scumbag citizen. At the bottom of the barrel is citizens, then it's illegal aliens, then it's bureaucrats and cops, then it's bankers and crooks. And they can do whatever they want in this country. And that's what all the John Wayne outfits and the fancy uniforms are about. It's about status. Government is the status. And government is a dangerous servant and a fearful master. You know who said that? George Washington. That I have FEMA on video in Kansas City, sent to me by a firefighter, to firefighters, police, and state police, with FEMA telling them George Washington was a terrorist. Government is a dangerous servant and a fearful master. Like fire, not easily controlled. In fact, I'm paraphrasing that. We pull up the terrorist, according to these people, George Washington. Do you think George Washington would, somebody walked up to him when he was a militia commander and said, what's going on here? You guys got a checkpoint here on this dirt road. What's going on? You think he'd say, get out of here. It's none of your business. Get out of here. And I watch police. I see them pull over 2 middle-aged, one of them looked like she was 75, old women. Now, that's some other article about George Washington was a terrorist. Pull up George Washington quote, government is a dangerous servant, fearful master. And then I can't remember the rest of the quote. I want to quote the terrorist properly. And I was ashamed for him. But see, the globalists want us to be ashamed of the police. This is the psychology. They train them to act like thugs. They train them to be abusive. They train them to violate rights. They train them to be callous. They train them to be an us against them mentality. Then it becomes a self-fulfilling prophecy. And the public starts disliking them. And the feds, with their training, say, see, they don't like you. You've all got to stick together. And it's basically gang mentality. It's the biggest street gang in the world, and it's growing and growing and growing and growing, and everything that's being done in the public schools and the airports and everywhere are these testing grounds, they admit, to train you to be a total prisoner. They found the quote. Let's put it back up on screen for PrisonPlanet.tv viewers. Government is not reason, it is not eloquence, it is force. Like fire, it is a dangerous servant and a fearful master. Let's read that quote again for people. Now, you're either with George Washington or you're against George Washington. You either think that's extremist talk or it isn't. Let's put it back on screen. Government is not reason. It is not eloquence. It is force. Like fire, it is a dangerous servant and a fearful master. And government is now trying to be our master. Every other country in history turns into tyranny. Every other country has an elite come in that paramilitarizes the police and uses the military against the public. Every country sets up secret police and tattletale squads and demonization of people that don't like it. Every government seeks to control farms and ranches and agrarian areas to dominate the public. If you go down a checklist of tyranny, they are checking each box off repeatedly and adding new boxes. No one can deny that this country's in trouble. And I got news for the globalists and all their minions. It's over. The people are waking up. No amount of staged terror attacks, no amount of new wars, no amount of flu hysteria, no amount of the crises you create are going to put the genie back in the bottle. Humpty Dumpty sat on a wall. Humpty Dumpty had a great fall. All the king's horses and all the king's men aren't putting your stinking little tyranny back together again. Congress can pass laws giving the UN control over our waterways and our lakes. You can pass laws to not let us drill water wells. People are just going to stop following what you have to say. And as you back them up against a wall, because you want to raise the taxes and put satellite tracker boxes in all the cars to track and trace us and control us, it isn't going to work. Okay? And they are psychologically profiling. Every time I mention this, people don't believe me. It's so outrageous. I don't blame you. In fact, guys, it's MSNBC's the first one that comes up. Man sues police department because IQ too high. Will pull up some of the articles. There's been many of these suits. And they tell them, your IQ's 102, which is just above average. And, I mean, there's people with 190 IQs, folks. And so we're not going to hire you. That's a policy that was done secretly through federal funds about 20 years ago. It's now public. And now they're trying to lower it to 90. I mean, 90's not very smart, pretty dull. I mean, what, soon will they get folks with 70 IQs? Probably. Me, boss, now. You don't ask Sargeant Baker question. You lick boots. You polish boots of Baker. You see my cowboy hat. I am tough. You don't ask me questions. You're supposed to be afraid of Sargeant Baker. What was the other Thomas Jefferson quote? Another terrorist, according to, I guess, the state police and the filthy government we've got that's delusional and believes all its own propaganda. Liberty is a... Let me give you the exact quote. Guys, in fact, pull it up, double check me. Thomas Jefferson... When the government fears the people, we have liberty. When the government fears the people, we have liberty. When the people fear the government, we have tyranny. Thomas Jefferson. I'm going to continue to quote terrorists here on air. Okay? Remember, the feds are teaching nationwide that anything good is terrorism. And remember, the whole Homeland Security report sent to us by good state police and good federal marshal, good people. Remember that national news said the entire Homeland Security apparatus is for conservatives, gun owners, returning veterans, libertarians. It's for you. You're told it's for men in caves that are funded by the CIA, that if you don't give your rights up, they'll come get you. No, it's for you. It's for you. And the police want you to know that. Now, a lot of them are good men and women and aren't going along with the programming, but the programming, the directive, is to slap us around like they're the pimp and we're the prostitute, and they're going to let us know. Put the quote back up for me, please. When the people fear their government, there is tyranny. When the government fears the people, there is liberty. And that doesn't say who the quote. That somebody wrote that in an article. Somebody flipped the Thomas Jefferson. Oh, so that's a Thomas Jefferson quote, so I guess I flipped it. When the people fear the government, there is tyranny. When the government fears the people, there is liberty. I mean, what do you think Thomas Jefferson would have thought if he was in a time machine and he was teleported to the morning of September 23rd, 2010, and if he could be floating around in the clouds teleported into the future, 200 plus years, and he sees Alex Jones pull over, park down a street. I'm in a neighborhood, and I politely walk up and put on my charm. And I was thinking, I hope they're good. I hope they're good. I want to find out, A, if this is an illegal checkpoint, but B, I want to see how they treat me. And I was thinking, man, I hope they're good, but I got a bad feeling. And I just said, hi, hey, troopers, how's it going? What's going on here? How dare an Al-Qaeda? How dare a combatant? How dare somebody that can talk? The citizens are supposed to drive by scared and see the cops and get scared and go in the checkpoints and be asked questions and be put in naked body scanners where they illegally record your genitals and then lied about it and got caught. It's a criminal government. They lie even when the truth would suit them better. And I politely was humiliated. But I wasn't humiliated in the way he thought. I was humiliated for this country. I was humiliated for my children's future. I was humiliated by petty nobodies put in thuggish positions of abusive power to boss citizens around with relish and enjoyment and treat me like trash. That guy was savoring baring his teeth. He was savoring his eyes, just gleaming with hatred, like I had, slapped his grandmother or something. I mean, this was anger and hate and disgust that I could barely even summon for my enemies. But it summoned in me just total disgust. But see, everybody doesn't have a syndicated radio show. One of the biggest on the planet. Yeah, here's video we're showing on screen of the state police when we're out there for a rally, coming over and saying, you don't videotape in America. Give me your ID. And boy, he had some disgust, but nothing compared to what this guy did. Fade up the audio of this guy talking to Aaron. From where you had it, it was good.
You don't have any of that. Why are you questioning? Because that's my job. I'm asking you again. Do you have an ID?
I have a driver's license.
Where is your driver's license, sir? I need to see it then.
All right. See, he sounds calm, but his eyes are angry. This cop was 100 times, seething with what I would call demonic hatred. Hey, what's going on here? What are you doing? I'm just seeing what's going on. It's none of your business. Get in your car. Get out of here. Get out of here. Now, this is the same type of angry energy that you would expect from Davy Crockett defending the Alamo. This is hatred you summon up when you're fighting for your life. And I guess he was fighting for his life because his life is being a thug. That's his way of life. And he felt it was threatened by a polite, congenial, well-dressed person having good feelings for him. And they think they're going to win. They think they're going to bring this country down. They think they've got it all figured out. At their surface of their consciousness, they're the guardians of us. But deep down with a control freak like Yosemite Sam, Sargeant Baker, he's probably already got a nickname like Yosemite Sam. Because some of the other guys obviously knew who I was, and they were smiling at first and looking, and by the time I got in my car and drove back, he was up there just looking at me, calling in my plate, so he was going to get me. Oh, yeah. Oh, and they got that Travis County sheriff to get behind me and let me know I'm being watched, boy. In fact, pull up the Philadelphia, Pennsylvania ad where they say, we're watching you with satellites. We're going to get our money from you. They want you to know that you're being watched. They want you to know you're being controlled. Remember, they denied the satellites were being used against citizens? Now they're harassing farmers and ranchers with it? And it's always because it's the law. It's the rules. But then when the Federal Reserve gets up and Congress says, where's the trillions of dollars? They say, we're not going to tell you.